Welcome to this edition of Media Minute. Today we're talking about Coming to America, WandaVision, and even Bigfoot. Also, we're going to delve into our favorite 3 books within the past year. We'll be back right after this. Welcome to Media Minute. I'm Michael Forward.
I'm Chris Raczkowski.
And I'm Rachel Edge.
And in this episode, well, we're talking about a few new movies that have hit streaming services. First off, Eddie Murphy's back.
Ta-da.
In Eddie Murphy form. I don't know. It's just repeating an old movie that he did from like 40 years back.
Well, everyone else is doing it. So.
Yeah. Coming to America. It's not Coming to America 2. It's Coming and then to and America, which makes it kind of confusing to talk about.
Yeah, because it's like, which one are you talking about? It's like, no, the one with the 2 in the middle. Like, if you look for the 2, that's the one that we're talking about.
Yeah. I was very lukewarm on this.
Watching it, like every Sunday I kind of do a thing with my mom. We do like Skype movie dates because, you know, cool kids. And they were like, oh, let's watch this. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, talked about it. I'm willing to give it a shot. Meh.
Yeah, it's first off, I think it's a little bit too far removed from kind of the source material.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like, who really cares at this point?
Like, I think the first one definitely had like what it took to like make a good movie.
If they made a sequel like in the 90s or even the early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah, but like almost like 30 plus years later.
If you're gonna remake an Eddie Murphy movie, do Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd be down for
or do a new one.
Yeah.
Just make a brand new movie.
But yeah, like, I don't know. But I gotta say though, Wesley Snipes in this movie.
He was the highlight.
Yeah.
He looked like he was enjoying himself like a lot.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah.
I think he kind of stole the show, in my opinion.
I think he did. Like Murphy's performance was kind of low key. Actually,
yeah, he was very chill.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It wasn't the same Coming to America, obviously, because it's the second one. But like, I was hoping for more. Like, I wanted more of that Eddie Murphy.
I think they tried to go in too many different directions.
Agreed.
Like, there's too many different like subplots.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could have fixed that. Maybe if basically the storyline is that the king finds out that he has a son in America and brings him back to his country to an arranged marriage. And so, I mean, the whole going to America point was like very short.
Yeah.
Because most of the movie took place in the country. And yeah, I think maybe if they like focused on maybe his daughters going to America or something, just
yeah.
You know what was weird though? Seeing what's his face, Louis, that comedian, Louis. It's not Louis C.K. Louis Armstrong or whatever. It was.
No, that's a
yeah.
The wrong guy.
That's the Wonderful World, dude.
Yeah, no. I forget, Louis something. He actually had a cartoon like back in
Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson, yeah.
Redhead dude, kind of like buck teeth.
Yeah. Because he was in the first movie.
Yeah, he was.
I tell you who they should have brought back was Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, that would have been wicked.
As the robber?
Yeah. That was like his first role, so.
Just about, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
They show a clip of him. Like, you see a clip of the robbery and you see Samuel. But, it would have been wild if they brought him back for even if just a cameo.
Oh, I would have loved that.
I mean, Morgan Freeman's there for just a voiceover type thing.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you see the after scenes credit?
I know.
Yeah, it's not worth your time. Just saying.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sounds like a summary of this whole movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What you guys are talking about it?
I don't know. Like, it had some feel-good points. Like, it did have some points that I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. But
I didn't feel like I wasted my time watching it.
But it's not like I'm ever going to watch it again. It's like I watched it. It was like, all right, cool. And
I'd rather go back and like watch like the 80s.
Yeah, the first one.
Eddie Murphy.
Absolutely.
Or Trading Places.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd. What up? CanCon.
For sure. There you go. Going to call it out every time. WandaVision wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I cried.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I did.
I mean, the ending was pretty intense. Like, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But like when she's walking along the beach and then like she just like falls to her knees and just starts like pounding the ground. It's like, you bastards, you blew it up. And
yes,
then, like
the
camera pulls back and you see the Statue of Liberty and it was Earth the whole time.
I mean, dude, you gotta stop with the spoilers, right?
Yeah, man.
Some people haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
Neither have I.
No.
Clearly.
No.
So, as you were.
But yeah, no, like I thought it was a really good way to end the series, but it definitely tugged at my heartstrings because there was parts of it I was like, no, okay, fine. But
I love the fact that there was a Blade Runner reference.
absolutely,
Yeah.
that was wicked.
Yeah. But,
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to like delve too much in it because
Yeah.
people haven't seen
Absolutely.
it yet.
Basically, she tortures a whole town of people for a really long time, and they don't seem to mind.
Well, there's more to that story.
They're a little upset.
Yeah.
They
But-
could.
They're definitely like getting ready for like the next Marvel
Yes.
phase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I think Wanda's going to end up in like the next Doctor Strange.
that's what they kind of were setting
movie.
up for sure.
Yeah.
But if you haven't watched the finale, make sure you stay for the entire credits. There's not one, but two
Ooh.
Yep.
cutscenes, and
Get
you
your
want to make
money's
sure you
worth.
see those. Because I think they give some pretty good hints on
Yeah.
what's next. So
I like the series as a whole, though. Like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people found it like a little slow at the beginning with the whole kind of setting up the different decades of
Yeah.
the sitcoms, but by the time it ended, it's like full Marvel universe type
Yeah.
thing. So
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I know people were like, "Oh, it's black and white." Bleh. It's like, really? Like, have you not watched a black and white film? Like,
Who's saying that? Who's saying that?
a lot of people were. People were
People.
pretty mad.
those people,
I
Twitter
remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. People who don't
wanna find
appreciate
these people.
good film, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because a lot of good black and white films are
Yeah.
like wicked to watch.
And they even explain the whole sitcom.
yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then it's when you finally like realize like, why is this a sitcom? It's like, oh, I get it now. It's actually really sad when you find out why it's a sitcom. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
It's because she's sad.
Yeah.
she is. She's a very sad human.
They did the whole. It was. I like the fact that they brought in the guy who played Quicksilver in the older X-Men
Yeah.
movies.
Oh,
They
yeah.
brought in like the same guy to play Quicksilver in WandaVision.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of that was like they were joking. They're like, "You recast your brother?" Like,
Yeah, because it wasn't even Quicksilver. It was some guy named like Ralph Boner.
something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't the actual Quicksilver.
But like,
yeah.
but yeah, they were just joking though, and they're just like they played into the fact that they did recast Quicksilver because the original guy he was in
yeah, he died in Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
I think.
so but then they're like, oh, we need another one because X-Men.
Yeah.
And then they brought that guy in, and everybody's like, "Why did you use the other guy? Like, would that make more sense?"
It would be nice to see them introduce the X-Men into the MCU.
Yeah,
I
I'd
don't
like
know what's.
to.
I guess
like
it's
to see
licensing.
that.
Okay,
licensing or
for me
something.
though, I don't know if I can do it because if Hugh Jackman is not playing Wolverine, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think it's time.
Well, okay, but who?
Batman has had like what?
That's Batman.
eight
though.
Yeah,
different
and we're at like
iterations?
the fourth Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Now.
Why not a Wolverine? Let's switch it up.
Because Hugh Jackman fits Wolverine so well.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say Robert Pattinson would make a better Wolverine than a Batman.
oh no.
I still say
No.
the Crow.
Yeah, the Crow. I could see him as the Crow. If I had to pick anybody for the new Wolverine, I'd say Tom Hardy.
Maybe.
I could see him doing it really well.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for Hugh Jackman.
Wasn't
He's
Wolverine.
got Venom, and you
Yeah,
only
wasn't he
get
Venom?
one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lie. Chris Evans has.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't count
he's
him.
a fantastic.
You don't count him? Okay, to be fair, though, they all needed a redemption from that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
That was a little rough.
As
Yeah,
long as
there
they-
has never been a good Fantastic Four film.
Which sucks,
Oh,
because
the
like,
Roger
it's a
Corman
good
one,
comic.
but-
Well, yeah, the Roger, which was
Unofficial
never released.
Yeah,
Why is always the good ones never released? Like, Dune was never released?
it wasn't really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
No.
Okay, but was it one of those, like, so bad it was good?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's good.
They made it because if they didn't make it, they would have lost the license for the property.
Oh.
And so they made it and they didn't release it.
Snap. Okay.
If you can find it, watch it. It's
Yeah,
it's fun.
it's on the internet.
Yeah,
You can find it somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. Something else I watched. I don't think you guys have seen it yet. I saw the Raya and the Last Dragon.
How was
which
it?
is
have not seen it.
Yeah, I mean it's a kids flick. I think they kind of like they had the dragon almost like a genie character.
Oh,
but no one
interesting.
can do the genie character except for Robin Williams.
Yeah, Will Smith tried, and I will give him a solid, like, A for effort on
Yeah,
that.
he
But,
swung
like,
for the fences.
Yeah.
well, part of the reason he actually took the role, though, is because he was a really good friend of Robin Williams, and he wanted to do him right.
Yeah.
And I thought that, I was like, you know what?
You
Yeah.
gotta respect that for sure.
Absolutely. And I do think he tried his best, but like when that CG first came out and everybody was like, no,
This is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
it kind of ruined
My
it.
eyes.
Yeah, I was like, no, why do you do that to Will Smith?
Yeah, like the dragon makes like anachronistic, like talks about like stuff that, like in modern day, which makes no sense in, this kind of ancient East Asian setting.
Weird.
It was a solid film though. I mean,
Okay,
well animated and everything. But in terms of like movies like that, I preferred Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which a sequel's coming out.
And a TV series.
Ah,
Oh, is it
segue.
both?
Segue! Yes. Okay, I think we got
Is it
that.
a show and a movie?
Well, the sequel, I got into clickbait on that one. That was my bad.
Yeah.
I heard that there's a sequel. They're planning on it, but they haven't announced the release date and stuff. But like The Rock and like all of the original characters are like, well, other than the grandma, I don't think she'll be making a comeback.
Yeah.
But all of them are like, yeah, totally down for a second movie. But like Disney released that there's like actually 4 TV series coming out. Moana is going to be out in 2023, which I'm pretty stoked for because like I feel like now that she's discovering like new islands and like finally doing what she wants to do, like it would be kind of cool to find out where she goes, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Disney did do like a whole bunch of TV series back in the 90s, like related to the movies. There was a Aladdin series, which I remember was like pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Used to
I
come
loved
on,
it.
Used to come on like Disney Afternoon or something
Yeah.
like that.
You're
I
watching
remember
the
watching.
Disney Channel.
Yeah. For some reason, we used to have like ITV from Edmonton, and they would show it on Saturdays or something like that. But and like they had Tailspin and all that stuff, which
Tailspin, nice.
apparently they brought back in the recent DuckTales.
Yep, I won't lie, I've been binging DuckTales because the nostalgia.
The new one or the old one?
Old one.
Okay.
But I haven't watched the new one yet.
Great Nintendo game, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
The
The DuckTales Nintendo game?
They had a video game?
Yeah, and it was great.
also there's a famous like
Played the crap
music
out of
track out of that, like the Moon theme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
remember that
actually they in the new DuckTales they actually bring in the Moon theme because it's so like classic and iconic.
I love it.
So, and how did we get on DuckTales?
I don't know. We were talking about
we are
TV
in the
series and then
weeds.
Disney and then nostalgia and,
Yeah,
one. Great show, a fantastic video game.
yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
But Moana though, I'm excited. Apparently they're doing a Baymax one from Big Hero 6, which I am totally down to watch.
Yeah, I could see that making a good show.
I think so too. Zootopia Plus, I'm a little like lukewarm on it because like I feel like it was a great movie, but can they make a TV show out of that?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
It's a cop show, right?
Yeah, it's a cop
Yeah.
show.
Oh yeah, I get. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
A kid cop show.
Law and Order, Zootopia.
No, let's not do that.
I'd watch that.
And then
You could say the anti-loped.
oh no.
That's right. This is why you watch this.
Yeah. And then the last one too is Princess and the Frog. It's called Tiana, and I'm
Interesting.
I'm interested for that one too because I feel like it'll probably dive into like
I think with streaming, like they seem to be bringing back kind of more serious stuff. And in terms of series, I mean, The Mandalorian was a hit for them.
Oh my God,
They
yeah.
know that they don't have to necessarily make movies.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's the thing too that like I've found with streaming sites and stuff is like they're realizing like, hey, wait a minute, like people like it when we release all of this at the same time, or like the weekly thing like WandaVision, Mandalorian. It's like something for people to look forward to, right?
yeah, and people discuss it too, like when you
Absolutely.
release it week by week.
Like
It's
us.
wicked.
Yep.
You can't blame us though.
No.
Like the Mandalorian is pretty sweet.
It was better with Gina.
Anyways,
Because everyone gets really uncomfortable.
yeah. What's next, Mike?
Bring her back.
Let's well, speaking of
Actually, it's
Gina,
too
let's
late.
talk about Bigfoot
All right.
because
I don't know about-
because can't see it on TV.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm reaching here.
Oh, I loved it.
Not a good segue.
Bad segue.
I'm not bad segueing
Yes,
that. That was
Bigfoot.
great.
It is open season on Bigfoot in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Who
They
would have
are
thought?
Rewarding $2.1 million if you catch Bigfoot. Can't kill him.
No.
Can't kill him. It's catch and release.
Well, I mean, isn't he technically an endangered species?
You would think that
Yeah.
he would
Right?
probably.
So like,
If they're real, there's not a lot of them.
or there is a lot,
Yeah.
and they're just really good hide and seekers.
Or it's just Joe Rogan in a monkey costume.
Oh my god.
Which is the most likely the
Yeah, that's,
Like, really.
in terms of likelihood,
Yeah.
that's probably,
It's probably
the
just
most.
Joe
the
Rogan.
most
You know,
likely thing.
like you know what though? Like, what if that was actually a thing though? It's like maybe not Joe Rogan, but if like a family thing, it was like,
I
yo,
know-
we just pass it down from generation
Yeah.
to generation.
I know people
tradition.
have come forward and like said, they've made the tracks and stuff and show how they
Really?
did it.
Oh,
So
wow.
not necessarily No, for Bigfoot. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you fancy yourself a hunter, you can get a hunting license.
Yeah.
Or a Bigfoot license. I don't know what you'd call it, but it exists.
Yeah,
so you can look it up.
It's a tourist thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It totally is. But it's a great one.
Why
I
else
think
would
that's
you
awesome.
go there?
But like, yeah, it's like, yo, come to Oklahoma. We have Bigfoot.
I'll go to
They
Oklahoma.
don't really have anything else, as far as I
Yeah.
know.
Well,
If you're from Oklahoma and you're watching this, tell me what to visit in Oklahoma, please. I have no idea.
Aside from Bigfoots, of course.
Aside from Bigfoot.
yeah. Like, well, I mean, it's Bigfoot though. How long have people been hunting Bigfoot for like ever?
Yeah.
Like centuries, decades at least.
At least like the 60s, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, probably longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
We got
always been stories of like creatures
Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeti,
Yeah.
Sasquatch, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Actually,
there's probably a
crazy.
ton of missing.
Crazy story here. One of the, like I've always heard of Bigfoot like in like the sense of like he's just like a giant ape dude like wandering.
Yeah.
Big monkey.
But apparently there's an indigenous legend, I can't remember where I heard this from, where apparently Bigfoot is an interdimensional being. So he goes back and forth between dimensions. That's why you can't find him. And he steals
Convenient.
children
Why?
just to steal children.
Yeah.
I guess he's not really that good
It's
of a
not
guy.
a hobby.
That's just his thing. That's just his thing. Well, no, like, so they can, like, I don't know, like, repopulate or something? I don't know. I don't know what the whole full legend is, but, like, apparently, like, that was a worry for this tribe. They were like, oh my god, Bigfoot's gonna stake my
Bigfoot's
baby.
gonna-
Yeah, I don't want to paint.
That-
I
that's
don't
one
want
of
to
those-
paint any Sasquatch out there as baby snatchers.
Oh, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm
Like,
saying
it's-
it's a legend.
One
Yeah,
of those
slander
stories
lawsuit.
where like you tell kids so they'll behave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, could you imagine though? Like that would make sense though. Not the kids. No, not the kid snatching.
The
Let me finish.
interdimensional
Like the
beings,
interdimensional
that's why
thing.
no
'Cause
one
then
can
that
find
way
it.
it's like
Yeah.
that's why we've been able to find them for so long. Not the kid snatching. Calm down,
I'm still leaning on my Joe Rogan theory.
Joe Rogan, if you're watching this.
Who would win in a fight, Sasquatch or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. Definitely.
See, you really got to rack your brain. Is there a difference?
The monster from Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Yes.
That was like on TV like all the time back
Yeah.
in the 80s. John Lithgow.
That was a good one.
That and Elf.
That no, Elf, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said elf for a second. I'm like, elf wasn't
Elf,
made
the
until yeah.
Elf,
little,
yeah.
little
Oh,
alien
yeah,
always
he-
trying to eat
yeah.
cats.
He
and-
gave me like nightmares for like a
Did he?
while.
His sister?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's weird because like I had nightmares about Alf. My sister had nightmares about ET. So
He-
like
he was in the
aliens were
Well,
just not
I
a
could
thing.
see the ET thing. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, the ET barn scene freaked me out when I
Oh,
was
yeah.
a kid.
Yeah, no, Elf, big player in the Pog scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my mom still has Pogs.
Really?
Yeah, dead serious.
Remember
Way
Pogs?
to
They're
go,
back
Mom.
in Elf form.
Hang on to those. They might be worth money one day.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not, but
Oh yeah.
Moving on.
yeah, Bigfoot. There you go. Yeah, that's our Bigfoot segment.
Our kind of topic for this episode is some of our favorite books that we read or, for my case, listened to, because I haven't picked up a physical book in a while, but I'm rocking the audiobooks.
Audiobooks are pretty wicked though, because you can do more while you're listening. So
I'm superficial. I like the physical.
It's not that's like the opposite of superficial.
yeah.
I don't know. It's materialistic. I like the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, like-
physical thing in my hands.
I can do both. I've done audiobooks and I've done physical books, but like I like the physical book because I don't know, like the book smell is like
It
fantastic.
does have a smell.
And it's like you're just like holding it and you're like, oh,
Yeah, there's a
so
a
nice.
texture to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know I've moved around a lot over the last couple of years, so I'm kind
Yeah.
of, when you move, books are heavy.
Yeah,
They
they're
are.
crazy.
Oh my
They are
God,
heavy,
yeah.
and you don't really want to get rid of them and stuff like that. So that's why I'm kind of limiting myself to audiobooks.
Keeping it minimal. I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you get the same information.
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure. And some of the audiobook narrators are fantastic.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like when the author actually narrates their own book. I appreciate that.
Actually, one of my authors did that for his book,
Nice.
Nice.
and people actually prefer it because he has a pretty iconic voice. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Who wants to start?
How about you, Mike? You never start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Start.
I actually talked about this book on a previous podcast. It's J.M. Straczynski's Becoming Superman.
Nice.
Of course, he was the guy who created Babylon 5.
Nice.
As I mentioned previously, he worked on the Ghostbusters cartoon. He worked on Captain Power. He wrote for Murder, She Wrote.
Wow.
But yeah.
what was it? Angela.
Angela Lansbury.
There we go. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. But like his personal journey from like, he grew up rough. Like,
Yeah.
Really?
he grew up like poor. Like he went like pigeon hunting with his grandfather in the park. They used to like snatch pigeons from the park, and his grandfather used to eat them. They were that poor.
Wow. Oh wow.
His father was like a terrible person, like literally a Hitler Youth.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Big oof.
like a big part of it.
That's a big oof.
Lots of abuse and stuff when he was growing up. So
Man.
it's a really like from him like climbing out of that and becoming like a successful writer. Like he did he talks about like his first movie script and selling that. It's like never seen so much money before. Like because I think he sold his first like movie script for like $1 million and
Holy crap.
yeah. So it's a journey. If you're interested about like writing, the creative process, or if you're just looking for like an interesting book about like someone overcoming a lot of adversity, Becoming Superman.
I love that.
Check
I
it
love
out.
those stories because it's like it shows you that like it doesn't matter where you come from. It's like you can get out of there.
Like
if
he
you
was
need
even in a cult at one point.
to. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of cult? What?
It was like a religious cult.
Aren't they all?
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, guys.
Yeah. But no, like
That's
the
crazy.
stuff that he overcame to get where he is. I mean, it's amazing.
Okay, I might have to check this out because that sounds super interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
I guess we can both kind of go next
Yeah, go.
on the topic of absolutely devastating childhoods.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like this segue.
Yeah. Unveiled by Yasmin Mohammed. Born in, was it Surrey? Burnaby?
I think it was Burnaby in BC.
That neck of the woods, BC, near the coast. Grew up in an extremist Muslim family. I don't even know if extremist is a strong enough word because her family was... it's a hard book to talk about. She went through hell.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just about.
Like,
And how she got out of it. And
it's hard to explain because it's like one of those books like I had no idea this kind of stuff happened in like extremist homes, and it's like finding out that like there are kids out there who are literally getting hot oil poured down their throat because they don't know certain things, or they're getting beat because they didn't do their prayers or stuff like that. And obviously this doesn't apply to every like religion and stuff like that. Like we're not saying that's a bad thing, but
this
like
is not representative of anybody. It's
No.
just her
But-
family specifically.
but like
was
to
just-
hear like another like I guess success story out of
Yeah, overcoming
complete
all that.
crap, like
Yeah, it's kind of motivational. Like when I read Becoming
Yeah.
Superman, it's like he went through all that and got out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of empowers you to like, okay, I can handle things, right?
yeah.
Yeah, even if you take like religion out of the story, it's still just like she had
It's a
some
crazy story.
really evil people in her life.
Yeah.
and
I think
She
that's
got
what
out
the
of it,
story
man.
more so is about overcoming evil, especially when it's like your own family.
Well, like this book made you cry how many times?
Oh, I remember the end.
I'm not throwing you under the bus,
No,
am I?
no,
Okay.
I'm a very emotional person when it comes to like reading people's stories and stuff. But like reading this, I was a mess like for weeks afterwards because I was
It's
just
pretty
like,
devastating.
wow. I'm like, how can somebody go through this and still have like the will to go on and like keep doing what you need to do, right? And it's really crazy because like now she's a activist trying to get people to understand that
Yeah.
the extremists
Got a
and all that kind of stuff.
got a
And,
cosign from Sam Harris.
Yeah.
if you know who that is.
and no, it's a really crazy book. It's one that you should read.
highly recommend. CanCon.
You should read it if you're prepared to read it, I guess.
Yeah,
Because it
it's
is heavy.
heavy.
It's
Yeah,
not. It's not a
definitely.
light
Yeah, it's
read.
not like a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's not like, you know what, I'm going to spend my Sunday morning.
Kind of like, remember when Facebook only had the like option, but
Yeah.
someone would post like really upsetting news, like mom lost her battle with cancer last night.
and you're like,
I don't want
oh,
to hit the like
Yeah.
button, but I want to show support.
yeah. No,
like that.
absolutely. But like, no, it's a great book, crazy story, and just really eye-opening, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Spend some money, buy a book, and make it this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to look into
Great
it.
read.
I'm still recovering from Becoming Superman.
That's fair. That is very fair.
Yeah, this is not gonna
That's
help you out.
this is not going to be like a lighter note.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go, and it's technically a lighter note, but it's like a murder mystery, so like,
Yep.
not really, but it's fiction, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine is "And Then There Were None" by Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
The Queen of Mystery.
Classic murder.
I love
mystery.
her. I remember reading this in high school for the first time, and I think I've read it at least like 40 times since.
So do you know who done it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it's
quite the reread.
Well, because it's like, I don't know what it is. The characters that Agatha wrote, she was just like really into it. Like, and it's crazy because this came out in 1939, so it's a pretty old book.
Yeah.
Apparently
but-
it still stands up.
Oh, it totally does. There's been parodies of it. Like, what was it? I had it written down. Oh, there we go. A Superman comic really pulled from the plot, and Family Guy did like an episode called "And Then There Were Fewer," and it was the same plot.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, so it's like basically like a bunch of people are invited to this island saying that, oh, like, you know, this is in your honor, all this kind of stuff. And then people start mysteriously dying off. And it's because they all have horrible pasts where they did terrible things. But it's like the mystery of it is really good. I just really enjoy it. But like I found out some pretty interesting facts about it. There was an early TV production where one of the victims, after being killed, didn't realize he was still on camera. So he stood up, put his hands in his pocket, kind of walked off, and people were like, "No,
Phil, what are you doing?
What are you doing? You're supposed to be dead." And he was like, he just got stabbed like ridiculous amount of times too, right? So it's like totally.
It's all right. I'll walk it off.
Yeah, you were fine.
Yeah, that's good.
But actually, this was. What else was I going to say? 2015, it was voted for the world's most favorite Agatha Christie novel in a global vote, which saw fans from over 100 countries.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're all like, yo, this is the best one. And then my last one that I thought was really cool was that for a while it was the world's best-selling mystery, and it sold over 100 million copies.
Yeah. It's one of those books that's kind of the kind of establishes like that genre.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I love all of Agatha Christie's books that I've read, but this one, I don't know what it is. I will always reread it just because it's like such a good read. So if you're into mystery, crime, thriller, psychology, messed up stuff, this is the book for you.
Nice.
Cool.
Back around to me.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's zombie apocalypse. You know, they happen in books and novels and movies and stuff. Like, usually in the States, this series takes place in Nova Scotia.
About dang time.
It's called the
CanCon.
Yeah.
Canada today. Crushing the CanCon.
Absolutely.
It's Mountain Man by C Blackmore. And yeah, it's about a guy surviving the zombie apocalypse in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. It's well written. Like I said, I did the audiobook. The guy who does the narration, R.C. Bray, who I think did the Martian audiobook.
The Matt Damon?
The book before that, the audiobook version. Does a fantastic job. It's if you've lived in Nova Scotia like I have, it's interesting because they go to like Halifax at some point, and I lived in Halifax for a number of years, and it's like they're talking about like the different streets and stuff. It's like I can see that. Like,
that's cool.
I've been there, but I didn't actually realize like it took place in Canada until I was a ways into it because someone had recommended it to me, and then like the narrator starts talking about going to Canadian Tire. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, I wasn't expecting that in a zombie novel. It's a series. I think it's up to like 6 or 7 books right now.
Oh, wow.
I've read like the first 6. So, No, if you're looking for like a zombie apocalypse that takes place in Canada, it's a good series.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that sounds wicked. About time, though. Like, I feel like a zombie apocalypse in Canada, like, we'd be able to...
Nova Scotia, you've had this coming for far too long.
No, I mean, like, no, in the sense of, like, you always see it in the States or in other countries, right? Like, I've never seen something in Canada when it comes to a zombie apocalypse. But with the amount of room that we have, like, I feel like you could just avoid them. Like, you just drive. Yeah. You'd be good.
George Romero filmed a few zombie movies in Canada.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
didn't you say the last Dawn of the Dead was filmed in Canada?
Yeah, it's some I can't remember where it was, like Mississauga or Burlington, somewhere in the just outside the Greater Toronto area.
That's fair. But it sounds really cool. So.
Yep. Chris.
My turn?
Yeah.
All right, more CanCon. The Death of Cool by Gavin McInnes.
Ooh.
If you know who Gavin McInnes is, you probably have an opinion of him. All this book is basically just a bunch of short stories from the age of 14 to 40. It's actually it's so funny. It's even the Huffington Post called it insanely hilarious, and I'm pretty sure they hate his guts. So it's just random stories. He's had a really crazy life. Co-founder of Vice magazine, pretty famous. Started the Proud Boys. That's a whole other conversation for another time. But yeah, it's not political at all. It's just crazy stories. Lots of drugs, lots of sex, lots of violence. He gets beat up a lot in this book. So if you don't like him and you want to hear him get beat up,
there you go.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to talk about because it's all over the place. Talks about losing his virginity. Talks about going on politically incorrect with Bill Maher, but wasted. There's just so much stuff in here, but it is a super fun read. Really short stories, usually about like 4 or 5 pages long, and just insanity. Like if you want to read about someone who is unapologetically themselves. And there is kind of like a nice underlying theme here, and that's pretty much it. Just be yourself and don't apologize for it.
Nice.
If you're,
That's always needed.
You might need to bleep this, but if you're pretty nice.
Okay.
Really funny, really good book. Highly recommend.
Wicked.
Gavin McInnes.
Rachel.
Yeah, so for my next one, I actually did a graphic novel.
Yep.
And it's called Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang. I believe I said that right.
Of Saga fame.
Yeah.
Brian K. Vaughan showing up again.
Yeah, the original Saga writer. This one's really cool. It's like a sci-fi 80s coming-of-age story. So basically these paper girls are going around their route, and then something happens, and they end up getting time traveled to the future where they actually meet their future selves, and like they're like, oh, hey, like what's going on? And the thing that I really liked about this, though, is that it's not just like the 80s nostalgia, like where everything's
Definitely.
painted in like
it has
like
a
a
Stranger
rose
Things kind of vibe.
hue kind of thing. It's like they actually address a lot of the problems with the 80s too, so like the homophobia, like all that kind of stuff. So it's really crazy because it's like for a graphic novel, it covers a lot.
Yeah.
But it's beautifully illustrated by Mr. Cliff, and it provides an amazing like diversity. Like there's different, like the girls are from different races, they all have different health problems, like and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's not forced either. It's not
like it makes sense.
Diversity for the sake of diversity.
Yeah.
It's like, no, these are just kids and they just happen to be
They just happen to be like that. And that's the thing that I thought was super cool. And then my favorite part about this that I found out is that Amazon is actually looking to make a live action series out of it.
Oh.
Which I thought, heck yes.
Yeah, it could be good.
Because like reading it, I was like, oh, this would make an awesome TV series. And then apparently somebody heard the want. But the really cool thing too is Vaughn wants to make sure that the actors and actresses that are being cast in the show are completely unknown. He doesn't want the fame. He doesn't want any of that. He's like, I want to give somebody their shot, which I always appreciate.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Like-
same for sure. Because you're not relying on like.
Yeah, like you're not
The
relying
star
on the
power.
name.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like, don't get me wrong, I understand why people do it, but it's
Oh,
kind of nice to
get
give somebody their
butts in
shot,
seats.
you know? But like another cool thing too that I really liked about this is that in one of the scenes they kind of go, or in one of the, I can't remember which book it is, but in one of them they end up going back in time like, what was it, like thousands of years, and they end up meeting a girl the same age who's like a mom, and they're like,
Oh, yeah,
whoa,
Yeah.
that's crazy, and then they kind of understand like, you know, holy crap, it's a good thing we were born in the 80s kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, it was really good. Definitely recommend if you're into graphic novels. And yeah.
And fun fact, he started writing this because Brian K. Vaughan was kind of dealing with how to raise a daughter.
No way.
Yeah.
I love that. That's cool.
So he wrote a book about a young girl.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Much like
Well,
these are.
like the crazy thing too is that like they're able to reach out to like the teenage girl population in a really good way. Like it's not like
Yeah, I'm not sure who's reading Paper Girls, but it's really
mostly a teenage audience. Like this is not for this isn't for kids
good. No.
at all. But yeah, it's really good. 100% recommend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Follow me for more recipes.
My final series
Ta-da.
is the Expeditionary Force series. Starts out with Columbus Day from Craig Allinson. It's narrated by the same guy who narrated the Mountain Man series, which I talked about before. This guy, R.C. Bray, he has like this fantastic voice. Like I wish I had his voice. But like a lot of the times when I'm looking for like an audiobook, I'll actually look for him as a narrator
Oh,
because
no
he does
way.
a fantastic job. But this going back to my space stuff in
Yay!
space wars in outer space with aliens. It's about a group of aliens. They invade Earth on it's Columbus Day. That's why it's called Columbus Day. And then a bunch of Earthlings get sent to like another planet to like garrison it or whatever. Like they're brought into like this intergalactic war, but not everything is as it seems.
Is it ever?
Yeah. And at a certain point, they meet up with like an ancient artificial intelligence called Skippy, and Skippy is fantastic. And humans basically become pirates, space pirates in space
Space pirates?
During Space Wars.
during Space Wars. Yes,
That sounds amazing.
So there's space mutiny? Space looting?
there's
Pillaging?
looting, not so much mutiny, but there's pillaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. Heck
But
yeah.
it's basically like this small group of humans in this like one ship that they steal like against the entire universe because like if they need to do everything in secret as well because if they're found out like Earth will just get nuked.
Oh.
Yeah.
This just makes me want to play Eve.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing
Spreadsheet
tonight.
simulator.
No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, I think they're up to like 13 books or something now. Like,
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, every time one comes out, I grab it. Like I said,
That's wicked.
mostly because the narrator too. Like this guy does, like R.C. Bray, man.
Like some Attenborough level or Morgan Freeman level voice acting or narration?
It's hard to explain. He's got kind of a gravelly voice though.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, that's my third pick. Like I
All
said,
right. Recommending some Audible chocolate.
Yeah.
I like it. No one knows where to go now.
Well, weird segue. Okay.
I guess I'll go. All right. Woke by Titania McGrath. Hilarious book. It is satire. Basically taking swings at far left, progressives.
woke culture.
Yeah, woke
Yeah.
culture, SJWs. It's funny because on Twitter, a lot of people don't realize it is satire
yeah,
and get really worked up and bent out of shape.
Really?
If you don't follow Titania McGrath on Twitter, you're only hurting yourself. Really good account. But this is basically a Twitter in a book without the interruptions.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
It's actually a British comedian. It's a guy. It's not
Yeah,
Titania McGrath.
Yeah.
She's not a real
pseudonym.
person.
She's not real.
But, yeah, he's just, as the Brits would say, taking the piss
Yeah.
out of SJWs and just people who are constantly offended.
Yep.
Kind of
Yeah.
taking them to task.
Like reading
Really
that
funny.
one too.
Oh, yeah, you read this too. Yeah.
Yeah, like reading that one, it's like at first it like took me a second. I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, right, this isn't legit. Like this is satire.
She's not actually a slam poet.
Yeah.
Radical
Like
feminist.
yeah, like the little poems in there too. I was just like,
Really funny.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Poems
it's interesting.
about her lady parts and the patriarchy and.
Yeah, it's a weird but funny read.
If you've been on Twitter, you kind of know the drill at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a big read. I'm a slow reader and I crush this in like an afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
But just because it's so good.
Yeah.
Titania McGrath is a genius, according to The Spectator. And I agree. Check it out. If you're tired of everyone being offended all the time.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well,
That was almost a sentence.
almost. So yeah, for my last one, everybody knows this guy, and it's
All right,
Green Lights
all right.
by Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
At first, I was like really surprised. I was like, Matthew McConaughey has a book? Like what? Because like, I'm sorry, I definitely was the kind of person that looked at him. I'm like, oh, he's the rom-com guy
Yep.
for a long
He
time.
definitely had a streak.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting
sure.
because he like talks about his life, and it's weird because it's like a memoir, but it's almost like you're reading his journal. Like it's
Dear diary.
not quite like that, but like it's crazy because there were some things in his life like I obviously had no idea about, and he hasn't talked about for like 50 years, and it was like he had all these journals, and him and his wife were like, you know what, I should write a book. Like, let's do it. And then it's like he tried to get a ghostwriter, and then the ghostwriter
Yeah, I
was
was
like,
gonna
no.
ask, like, he must have had a ghostwriter.
He didn't. He wrote it
Really?
himself. He took all the journal stuff that he thought was really applicable to his life and to like to help others and like put it in there.
Yeah, I would have assumed a ghostwriter.
I totally thought so
Right out of the
too.
gate.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, like 90% of like the actor like autobiographies,
Yeah.
it's usually a ghostwriter.
Yeah, and
Or
that's
at least
the,
a little bit of help.
and that's the thing that I was like really surprised about is like he openly explains that he used his journals. He's quite the writer actually. He does poems, he does short stories, he put that all in there. And my favorite thing is the bumper stickers, which is like these little like tidbits of like advice or like something that he really liked that he wanted to put down.
Little McConaugheyisms.
Yeah, basically.
McConaugheyisms,
But
yeah.
it's kind of funny because like one of my
I like it.
some of the things that I like read about that I was surprised was that he like actually never wanted to be an actor. He didn't know what he wanted to be. He wanted to be a lawyer originally, like a defense lawyer, because he thought that I could do it. And then he realized
He ended up playing one.
yeah, he did. But he ended up falling into the acting business by accident. He was a hand model at first. He was in film school.
Hold on.
Dead serious. They said that like that was his first gig was as a hand model, and I was like, no
Wait,
way.
he's David Duchovny?
Yeah, I guess.
But and then like he ended up getting the part of Woodson in Dazed and Confused by complete like just fluke. He ended up running into this guy at the bar, talking to him. They all got super drunk together, and then they took a cab back. And the director was like, yo, man, come to set tomorrow. I got a part for you. And he was like, okay, cool. And like he literally described it as a hobby turned career. Like he never wanted to be an actor. And then he was just like, it just happened. But that iconic all right line, completely improv. They didn't even have him in the scene. And the director liked him acting so much that they were like, hey, you want to do this scene quick? You're just going to pull up and say hi. And he's like, okay. And he like actually explained the process. He's like, I'm Woodson. He's like, I am this guy. What would this guy say? And then he pulled up, said those lines, and they've followed him around ever since.
It worked out all right.
Yeah, so thank you, Richard Linklater.
But yeah, and like another thing too that I thought was crazy is that he's like really open about the stuff that he's gone through.
Yeah.
Like he talked about how his dad died and like the middle of him filming Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
He
he was still really young then.
Yeah. He talked about how like it really affected him and stuff, and how his mom kind of turned into his biggest fan, but he was like, I don't want that, like I want my mom. And it actually put a strain on the relationship for like 8 some years. Because it was like she wasn't his mom anymore. It was like, oh, this is my son. Like she actually did a tour when he first blew up of the house, and she actually was like, yeah, so this is like of her home. Like she let like this TV access show in, and she was like, this is okay, so this is where he slept, and you know what I caught him doing every once in a while, like just completely blowing out his privacy. He's like, Mom, what are you doing? Like, don't do this. And it actually put like a huge strain on the relationship for a long time.
Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah.
But a more positive thing though was that he his biggest goal in life was to be a dad. That was his biggest thing. That's what he wanted to be.
Is he a dad?
He is. He has 4 kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's surprisingly very philosophical, and I did not expect that.
Very.
He's a very deep thinker. And yeah, he talks about a lot, and it's super interesting. If you're ever interested on like why he stopped the rom-coms, he talks about that too. He says that he didn't want to be an entertainer anymore. He wanted to go back to acting.
Yeah.
Did he address the naked bongo?
Yes, he did.
Okay, good.
Yes, he did. Apparently, the cops actually broke into his home and arrested him. And he was like, I ain't putting anything on. Like, this shows my innocence. And they actually held him in jail for a while. And then they're
Still
like,
naked?
Oh, yeah. And then, like, this big guy.
Done, sir. Well done.
What was it? This big guy came up. He's like, man, you're going to want to put on some pants. And he's like, no. He's like, this proves my innocence. And then he, like, looked at the guy, and in his words, he described him as, like, if a man as big as a brick house is telling you to put on pants in jail, you listen.
It's probably a good idea.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, it was really good. I got to say, like, I was pleasantly surprised. And if you're looking to get a little bit more McConaughey in your life, I definitely suggest it.
I get older, they stay the same age.
Yeah, he talked about that line, too.
I'm just kind of hoping like...
Did he make that one up?
Yeah.
No, he actually didn't.
I've just kind of pictured him as a dad, and like, I know this isn't true, but I'm picturing the kids named, they're all called All Right.
All right.
It's time for dinner. All right.
Yeah.
And all right.
But yeah, no,
Does he say his kids' names? I feel like they're probably weird.
They're not, though, actually.
No?
A lot of them are very religious.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, another crazy fact from this, speaking of religion, was that he actually was blackmailed into losing his virginity, and he thought he was going to go to hell for the longest time. And he's like, now he's like, that he's older, he's like, he actually said, he's like, I just hope it's not the case. Like, if that ends up being the reason I go, then all right, that's why I go.
Damage done.
But yeah,
so
he got blackmailed into it, though. I was like, at 15, he got blackmailed into it.
What was the blackmail?
He didn't explain, but he did say some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, wow, I'm like, this dude's really like, here's my life.
If there's a takeaway from today's episode, don't blackmail 15-year-olds into unconsensual sex.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Good advice.
All right.
Hey.
Anyone else got anything, seen anything or heard anything new that they want to talk about?
Well, I forgot one thing from the Matthew McConaughey thing. The all right thing has followed him so much that there's been girls who's actually showed him the tattoos of all right in certain areas. Oh. And he's actually pretty proud of it, to be honest. He's like, it's kind of cool that like everybody loves that line.
Yeah.
But yeah, watched an older film called Stay.
Yep.
With Ian McGregor, Ryan Gosling, and Naomi Watts.
Nice.
Came out in 2005. It's like a psychological thriller. Trigger warning though, if you do have some issues with suicide or like anything like that, don't watch it because it heavily.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather warn people than them go in it and then feel uncomfortable, right? But basically, you follow around Dr. Sam Foster, Ian McGregor's character, and Ryan Gosling is one of his patients that he's kind of taking on because Ryan Gosling's regular shrink is like on extended vacation because she had a mental breakdown. And he starts predicting stuff, and the first thing he comes up with is, like, I'm going to kill myself on Saturday at midnight. And, like, usually when a shrink hears that, they're like, wait, okay, we got to fix this. But it kind of takes you down this rabbit hole of, like, what's reality, what's not, and it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I didn't like was that Naomi Watts' character didn't really get much play, and I feel like she should have. But it was super crazy, super fun, and really dark.
Yeah.
Well, if we're doing trigger warnings, trigger warning, massive trigger warning, and no trigger warning at all. Learn how to take a joke. There we go. Trigger warning.
I'd rather warn people just so that way if they go into it, they know, right?
Yep.
That's all.
I've been enjoying Superman and Lois.
Really?
Yep. It's came out a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, that's out now, isn't it?
And a lot of people are. A lot of people are surprised on how well they're doing Superman. He's basically like the classic Superman, but in this one, he's a dad as well.
Oh, crazy!
So, yeah, no, it's for like a CW show. I'm impressed.
I'm glad.
When I hear Superman's a dad, I just can't help but think of the Jason Lee speech talking to Stan. Was he talking to Stan Lee or Brody? Talking about how like Superman must he can't have kids because he needs to have a kryptonite condom and it'd probably kill him. There's more to it than that, but Mallrats, great movie.
That is a good movie.
It is. Yeah, but no, it's first 2 episodes that sound good.
Yeah, is Gina Carano in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Never mind.
Why?
Because
we're trying to keep it light, man.
Yeah, well,
what's wrong with what? I just want to see more stuff.
Okay.
I think that wraps up this edition. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michael Forward.
I'm fired.
I'm Rachel Edge.
We'll see you next time. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell.